Greetings and salutations, and welcome to. I don't really have a series name for this one because it's just at the moment a one off. I might do more videos like this later, but as stated in the title, I learned/slash attempted to make a dress. And I think the results turned pretty well in the end, but we'll get to that once we get to that part. And apologies if I'm not always going to look at the camera. I have the pictures up in front of me to keep track of um, as I'm going through so I can keep track of what I'm doing. So this initially started just off with an offhanded conversation with one of my friends who helped me a lot with this. Um, where back in high school I had attempted to make a dress for for a friend or something just out of just interest, and it did not work properly. I don't have any pictures from way back then, but it didn't go well because I hadn't the slightest clue what I was doing. So with some help this time, I was able to get a dress made, and so it started off with just the initial design, which you will be able to see up here. I'm going to put it in the same spot I put the video for reactions for the time being. So with that just basic design with my not phenomenal drawing skills, but decent, better at coloring than drawing. I was able to get a friend to agree to have her be the model for me, to allow me to make the dress for her, basically to her measurements. Um, so then, after I got the measurements, I went on, bought all the fabric I needed, and we'll get to work on that. So I started off with it. The main thing that I was thinking is I wanted it to be a circle skirt, and like the base part. So my friend had a lot of patterns I could go off of. She had an old circle skirt pattern that I was able to use, and then as you see, and then again pictures up here. I got the fabric and I cut out the fabric for the circle skirt. Then had to go through a bunch of different patterns that my friend had to find one with the correct type of bodice that I was looking for, which, for those of you who may be unaware, the bodice is the part of the dress that goes here. I'll circle it in the picture. It goes there, it's that part of the dress. That would be a bodice. And I wanted one with that pointed waistline, which is known as a basque waistline, and a V-neck. We weren't able to find one with a V-neck line initially, but we were able to find one with a normal neckline, and then we just adjusted the pattern for that, for the neckline. So then, went on cutting the pieces out for that. We decided to double layer the bodice for a bit more support and so that things laid better when the dress was completed. So we went through I went through rather, and cut out the pieces of the dress as you see here. And then I sort of, due to needing to get a dress form, which is basically a mannequin for making a dress. We're gonna get one made from the person using just like a shirt and duct tape. And it took over a year to get that done, but eventually got that done. So I got that, so I was able to continue working on the dress literally like a year later. So yeah, this technically was like an over a year long project, but in terms of actual working time is a couple weeks tops. So once I got the dress form, we started laying out all the stuff on the dress form so we'd get a general idea of what the dress would look like when it was completed. Though we hadn't cut out the sleeves yet. So we got that. Then once we got everything pinned where we needed to, so that it would fit properly, I went to the sewing machine and started sewing everything together, which I have several pictures I'm just going to sort of go through on this. And we got stuff from a few different angles. Got that together. Then came a little bit harder part, which was actually getting everything together, but at this point, I actually have video footage because it is at this stage that I decided I was going to make a video of this. Apologies that the video quality is probably not going to be anywhere near like amazing. I recorded it off of my phone. So I'm gonna start that here. Okay, so
Pull it up in the back.
as I probably already said earlier in this video, since not edited yet, this is just when I first started to think about actually recording it. So a lot of the work's already done. Right now, what we're doing is we're pinning up the back to make sure it matches. That's right, correct?
Yes.
Yes. The woman who is my camerawoman today is also the one who is helping me out a lot. She's teaching me a lot to work with on this.
Yep. Yeah, we're matching up the liner, the underbodice with the overbodice right now.
So I want to pin these up here.
Just square them up. Yeah, don't worry about, don't worry about, just overlap them for now.
I've already stabbed myself a couple times on this project.
War wounds.
Yeah, it's always a possibility whenever you're dealing with pins or any other sharp object. Always be careful with sharp objects, kids and adults. If you're working with sharp objects, just be careful. So, should be able to get the whole thing done, you think, Kurt?
Yeah. You may need to pull and adjust a little bit on the lower one now that we've eased out the armholes a bit.
Yeah. You don't know, because I don't know if I mentioned it. The armholes we had some slight issues with just because we forgot to put the clips in to allow for seam allowance.
Yep.
So it was being a little bit snug.
Yeah. Any curves you generally clip.
Flip your curves, people. Flip your curves.
So general rule of thumb for modern seams, you'll usually have 5/8 of an inch. So elder patterns, it'll be usually half an inch. So.
Also personal preference, I like using the ones with the big tops because then I can stab myself less. That makes it easier to grab after the fact.
Yeah, it makes them easier to find, period.
That too. There we go. Also, one nice thing about having a nice duct tape or any surface underneath it is that you can easily tell when you got into all the layers of fabric.
Yeah, I got the skirt helps.
Clippy somewhere?
Yes, I
I can
can
hold the
find
camera
one.
while we do that. Just gonna clip that bit together, just get that at a straight angle. Just clip that together so it holds nicely. This back here is where the zipper is gonna go. Lovely, clothespins.
Straight here.
Lovely. And just do that and put that up, and that should say inputs now, and make this a whole heck of a lot easier for me.
Oh yeah.
Okay. The fact that it wasn't quite on the hip.
Yeah.
A little bit difficult.
I still can't believe you jumped off in the deep end like this.
Yes. Yeah. As I probably mentioned earlier in the video, this is my first real sewing project ever. And we're going straight to the deep end with having to mix and match patterns.
Yeah, most people start with receiving blankets and pillowcases.
Yeah, something simple with just a couple straight sews.
This nut comes to me with an idea and a picture.
Yeah. And the picture you've already seen. I know I've shown it by this point.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But again, I think it's looking good. And just all of the skirt.
All of the skirts. Let's go in front. You're gonna see this.
So much skirt.
Richard
So much
just
skirt.
kept going. It could go higher.
Yes.
So
all of the skirt.
It's a dancer's dream.
We have it to trim the skirts to length. We'll be losing a few inches down here at the bottom to account for my model's leg length, but all of the skirts, so much skirt is going to be great to dance in.
It is a dream. It is a dream for dancing.
I think I bumped your fish tank. I hope I'm sorry.
I don't know. I don't see him flipping you off any. You're fine.
Okay, so
Can
we're
a
going
fish
to line to
flip
line up as well.
Yeah. Yeah, we're having problems with that because we hadn't eased the armholes like we were supposed to.
Yeah, we still have this bottom. It's not quite reaching on its own. The zipper should take care of that if that doesn't quite reach.
Yeah, we're kind of cutting it close.
Yeah,
We're doing more of costume sort of application to this. It's not as refined as at least I would normally do. It's just Richard wanted to learn how the shapes worked.
I come up with designs.
He did. He came up with this skirt shape. He wanted to do things. He showed me what he wanted to do, and yeah, he went through a lot of fabric, experimenting with circles, making sure we had the full circle skirt design.
Yeah. I want to say about was it 10 yards of fabric?
Oh yeah.
And probably 7 yards of it is just the skirt.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's pretty normal for a skirt. Full. Yep.
All of the skirt. That was going to be something that I said a lot. Yeah. Also, probably clip your curves is probably going to be a thing now.
Yeah, pretty much.
Clip your curves.
We did it everywhere else. Here's the front.
Yeah, we got everywhere else. We got everything
Richard
else.
wanted
This
this
nice panel. Which actually, having
this one's not curved. Yeah, like they're gonna care.
Across.
Oh no, there's a thread on it while we're sewing. We're going to.
Amber here actually helped me come up with the pleated design here. I was just going to have it just be a flat panel in the front.
Yeah. It seemed easier than a good day at this point because we're already kind of.
And it has more skirt. So much skirt.
Yeah, it really did add a lot of volume.
Obviously, after where I found sewing everything, we're going to get it steamed or ironed or something.
Oh yeah.
So all these wrinkles will be gone in the finished product. Also, as you see in the picture, some of that excess at the bottom will go into right here to be just sort of a little panel there.
Accent.
Has a little bit of an accent.
That'll pull the colors, balance the colors out nicely. So.
My model, who I haven't asked her yet, so I'm not going to use her name until I've actually asked her if it's okay. My model is referring to this as she is the Gryffindor dress.
Oh yeah.
Because it is very Gryffindor color.
Very
the nice deep maroon red and the gold.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I need to get more pins back here though. It's not.
Yeah, if this were a satin, you could use this for we're doing a broadcloth.
It's very broadcloth. It's pretty cheap. It's a pretty cheap fabric.
It's easier.
Price-wise.
It's easier for a beginner person to sew. If you've got something
And it's
slippery,
and
Richard would have no hair left, and There'd probably be like a Richard-sized hole between that window and door.
Also, another reason for closet that the sort of idea in my mind was sort of stylized Renaissance, so it would have been a much more rough matte fabric.
We ended up with a little bit more of a mid to late 1600s, maybe early 1700s look with a basque waist, but it fit the shape.
That's what I wanted, was the basque waistline.
Yeah, you wanted
I did not know that term until I started
Yep,
working
it
on
points in the front.
I just knew it was like, I want that one.
It fit the shape of your picture where you wanted your colors best, so the way you described the movement of the skirt, so. Yeah, this is
I like swishy.
yeah, we took this bodice from I believe it's a Simplicity pattern floating around. It's that one that everybody and their dog has, where it has patterns through history that are completely inaccurate, but all have the same like top dress. It's like, oh look, it's Pioneer Woman, it's Pilgrim Woman, look,
this one had like the sort of
Revolutionary wannabe.
Pilgrim.
Yes.
Let's see if I can find a picture and put it into the video.
It's really funny.
Also, again, I've probably already done this, but I apologize for the audio quality. I'm recording this off.
I think it's the same pattern that's been reprinted since maybe the 50s.
Probably. I mean, they probably have it at the store still.
I think I have a newer one, but my mom had one from at least the 60s, at least. But the bodice is a classic. It's great.
I'm able to get with this pinning. Gotten about halfway. You come back. Look, I've gotten there.
It's a challenge.
It's not on purpose that I just got all the yellow ones.
Sure it isn't.
It just happened. They're just the ones I grabbed.
Anybody who knows you, I think, will know better. You just give me a dirty look. It's not like
I'm not that OCD about everything.
I don't know. I think it's
about
cute.
some things, but not everything.
Oh no, I think it's coming very handy.
Oh, it's definitely useful in certain situations. Sorry for blocking the view. We adjust the
I'll hold it up.
And just be facing downwards so I can work easier up here. I'm not just quite going to reach. The bottom part is overlaying nicely.
Yeah.
And it's overlaying enough that it should definitely be fine.
Yeah.
Once we
It should
get
cover
at
it.
it.
The zipper's not going to be as invisible as you want it because we pulled in a little bit too far on those side seams, but it's still good for.
It'll give a little bit.
Your first time out, you're learning.
It doesn't quite match perfectly, but it's close enough. No one will notice.
It's true.
Really looking at
It's
it.
better, I think, a little darker than a little brighter. So.
I'm going to need iron that steel.
I don't think I've ever ironed a zipper within memory.
So that's literally right here in the back.
Yep, it's a 22-inch, right?
Yep, 22 inch, and that gives us a good half an inch on either side. So with the zipper, we should be fine with seams.
If all else fails, we can create a placket and do buttonholes. But I know you want a zipper for ease.
Yeah, I want a zipper for ease, and that's probably still going to take a second person to get the zipper done up.
Hey, the
I
zipper
don't know
looks
how
like
flexible my models are.
the zipper looks like crap. You can always do a decorative thing to pin over the back, like with a snap that looks like it's laced up. It could be cool.
Yeah, no, I don't think I'll be able to get. Drop the pin. Nobody move. There it is. I'm not trying to get more because I'm going to get this. I'm like right in the bottom of this turn right through. I don't think I'll be able to get much farther to pin on this. Loose.
Yeah, let's look at some bulk in here.
Yeah. You okay if you're facing the video? I mean, you can't see at this angle,
I don't
but
think I'm breaking out too bad.
yeah, okay.
Come on, I have 7 kids. Who cares?
Yeah.
Oh, look. What's it on her?
That's Amber. She is my good friend and the one who is helping / teaching me. I'm probably gonna need a little more space on my phone for this.
Some out under here somewhere.
Yeah, but I don't know how much of this is actually going to be kept or edited out. So
There we
we've
go.
been talking through most of it, so it'll probably mostly stay. Are you clipping? Getting some slight clips.
I'm just easing this over. There's some
Easing slightly.
because we've done some unusual work on the seams, fitting it
Yeah.
exactly to the model.
Oh yeah, getting
Taking down
getting
bulk on these really wide-
those excess seams.
Yeah, if there's the other pictures we took come up.
I don't know if I got any pictures of the. Oh, sorry.
Yes, we did.
We got pictures of those excess seams.
They turned out when we're pinning it up, and we thought we had much more.
Yeah, we have a lot more
We have
fabric to
a lot
work
more.
on. We got a lot more to. So we could probably squeeze a little bit more out.
Here's the underbodice. You can
Yeah,
see what we
there's the
did.
lining.
We completely hashed this together. We
Yeah.
measured her and did extra size up to make sure. So we ended up with these super wide seams.
Yeah, really long seam allowance.
And the problem is, we are
It's
I'm
taking
going
up,
to
it's
get
taking up
so
space.
ridiculed by my sewing friends for what I'm doing right now.
Why not that improvise? Which probably not the best
This is
words
why-
to live by when you're sewing.
Should I hit yellow or your-
Yeah, clear. I have to remove another app off of my phone. I have to pause the recording for a bit.
There we go.
There, it's moving. Also, can I get the flash on here in any way? Can I get, probably not. I don't know what this is doing.
Good.
Oh, and I don't want to zoom.
There we go.
Apparently my phone camera does not allow the use of the light while recording. Annoyingly, I can't find a way to turn it on.
Bizarre.
So apologies for the less than stellar lighting.
There's a way to grab under it with your pin.
Okay,
When
so
you're
getting more
sticking
pins.
in, you can feel the bodice under here. So if this were a real person, she'd probably hit you.
Oh yeah, no. If you're doing this with a real person, be a lot less careful. Be a lot more careful with the needles, not less careful.
Well, all we need is this to be.
We don't need a
pressed
stab. We don't want to stab your model if you're actually using a live model. Again, we're just using a nice duct tape dress form. It doesn't feel pain.
in. It will end your relationship with your handy dandy model.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay, got the back
Not
nice
perfectly
and pinned up. It won't be
Just
perfect, but
secured.
it'll be good enough. We can start working all this. Get it, the skirt so it will lay properly. Get
On these- yeah.
all these folds that we made under here.
Yep,
Get
yeah,
them
we
folded
ironed
under to
it.
make it nice and clean.
We also did stay stitching to keep it from pulling out of shape here, a line of it.
Yep.
We clipped to the edge of it.
I
Richard
did.
did.
I did.
Such a good sport. That was clever.
Yeah. I've been totally pretty decent with like crafty type stuff.
Pretty
I mean,
darn
I
good.
did pretty.
So,
I mean, I got praised by a person several years ago, I made some
Slaps.
Harry Potter style wands for my sisters for Christmas, and the person whose later I was using was surprised at how quickly I learned how well I used it, despite having never touched one before. Which another video that may be coming up is me making my own wand.
That's right. What do you need to order for that altar or something?
We'll get to that when we get to it. Oh no, my battery power. You'll probably have to take a break in the recording while I charge my phone. So, down to 15% battery life. I meant to charge it before I came over, but I forgot. Live and learn. So just pinning things in place, so it'll stay in place while we're sewing, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
What we're going to do is baste this after. We're pinning in place.
So do that hand stitch like I did the other day.
Yeah, Richard hand stitched down the underbodice, the skirt of the underbodice, because it was
That
a
took a little bit of
different
time.
pattern. We're doing a half drape method where we drape half of it and figure it out from there. And
Using very technical terms.
yep. And then once we pin this into place, we'll take a nice, quick, big hand stitch around this, and the hand stitching will act like the pins and hold it in
Yeah,
place.
just hold in place while we put it through the actual
And
machine.
we're going to run a top stitch all the way through all layers, very carefully on the
That
edge.
is not perfectly lined up.
It will be.
Will we? Okay.
When you baste it.
Okay.
I know you won't let that escape your gaze.
Yeah. I am very observant about some things.
Some.
Oh, sometimes I'm horribly observant when it comes to like people's hair.
Use you on a crime scene investigation.
Yeah, you've never been in my workplace when a coworker walks in with a different hairstyle. I never notice.
Oh, that's normal, because you know them well. Justin walks in, he's like a girl. Look, honey, what'd I do? Oh, crap. Oh, crap, what did we shave this time? Oh, you look great, honey. It's just him.
Yeah.
It's him. I don't see
Yeah, so
his
got
hair.
pins, and from what I've been told, it doesn't really matter who you are. The number of pins is determined completely by your personality.
Pretty much.
I use a lot of pins
I
because
know.
I'm an amateur, and I'll probably continue using lots of pins because it makes sure everything stays in place.
Those old sewing shows through the 90s on PBS. Oh, they had some fabulous designer on. This guy was like, well, I don't remember what label he was with. But he's like,
I'll see if I can
just don't
find
mind
the
me, I'm a pinner. And it was
I'll see
amazing.
if I can find the information
But
and
he-
put it up in the
he-
video, like somewhere like in this area of the screen.
But he
gonna be really
beyond
interesting to
did a
edit later.
project into oblivion, and it was like, wow, suddenly I feel more secure about my technique, and I'm not the noob I thought I was. And sometimes it gets a little harder with this tighter. I'm basically touching the tape underneath and then flicking it up.
We got a couple more minutes of recording time at the moment before we have to remove another app from my phone.
There we go.
Remove an app or quickly pop over like, where would be the nearest place I could buy a micro SD? The Walmart?
Micro SD. I would guess so. The best ones I found in town have been at FedEx Kinko's.
Yeah, but that's a ways away. I don't want to drive that far. So I could probably just pop over to Walmart, get a micro SD for this to get myself some more memory space that my phone's been yelling about me for weeks now.
Wow, you put out that one.
I just don't think about it that much when I'm at the store.
I gotcha.
I also do that.
Yeah,
Grab a
I
couple
think our
other
next
things.
step will just be basting. We'll probably
Okay.
some video on that. I can do this other
So-
side, but they've seen it. Ooh.
Yeah, so I think we're gonna cut this recording right now, and then we'll get a little bit more pinning done, and then between recording shots, I will have gone to the store and gotten myself more memory for my phone,
Gonna get,
and then we shall watch me slowly and painfully hand stitch this skirt to this bodice. See you all in what will be like less than a second for you, probably like 15-20 minutes for me. See you in a second. Okay, and we're back, and that took a little bit longer than expected. Several trips to different places. Here's the thing. So now, we're basically just, get a contrasting color to both so it shows up well. Doesn't need to look good, just stick it through so I can get it to hold in place. Okay, if I get through there. There's one nice thing about having longer nails, that is going to do multiple layers of fabric. I don't want to get through there. So you can get through there. So now, also, doubling your thread is a nice thing to do because then you can knot it off at the end and then carefully just use that hole in there from the knot and instantly secure. Lovely. Okay, and this is the pretty basic and easy part. Just gonna follow along the hemline. It's gonna take me a while, so I'm not gonna record the whole thing. Just for these first couple of stitches. Again, nails really nice. They sort of work as a makeshift symbol. Also, if your fingers get sweaty, which they most likely will, get like an old pair of rubber kitchen gloves and just cut them up. You can use that to just grip the needle, and it'll pull right through super easily. There you go. So just got a few more stitches here, and then we'll probably cut away to one more. Again, the spacing stitch does not need to look nice. It's careful not to poke yourself in all the many pins that the dress. Okay. Yeah. Well, always be careful when working with sharp objects. You don't want to stab yourself. Okay, so it'll probably just be like the last little stitch, and then we'll cut away to when I'm done with this, because this is probably going to take a little bit. So just through, old kitchen glove, grab the needle, and okay, pretty much I'm just going to be doing that for like the next half hour or so. I will come back. So I will come back to you when I'm just about done with that. Okay, and
Sorry.
and we're back. It's actually been almost closer to an hour than the half hour I thought it was going to be. I've gotten most of the way around. It doesn't look pretty, but it doesn't need to. It's going to get removed anyways. It's just hold in place until the official stitching is in. Also, about 2-3 minutes after we stopped recording, that was pretty good. Always have band-aids on him and dealing with sharp objects.
Oh, show us the finger. Show us the finger again. War wounds.
Yep.
There we go.
Pretty bad. And I nicked myself a couple times, but that one was definitely the worst. And again, nice thing you can do with when you have like not an actual model when you're dealing with a mannequin or dress form or whatever, you can do them to sort of listen for that type of sound, and that means you got underneath all the layers of fabric. And
Yeah.
you just sort of put. Ow!
Otherwise, it'd be screaming.
Yeah, well, now you got another band-aid. Gosh dang it.
You're earning it. Back up.
Okay, got another band-aid on. You know, here it is. Yeah, well, this piece of old kitchen glove. It's great for gripping.
It's good for when you're tying quilts too. Pulling the thread through, it's real hard.
Oh, please. There you go. And yeah, sometimes you just talk to your inanimate objects. Just a thing that you do. There we go. And I shouldn't need more than just a couple more stitches here. And then unfortunately, this is all that I personally was able to do today because it's starting to get a little bit later on in the day. Right. So between now, the next time I come over to work on this which will be in a couple days. It's currently Saturday, so Sunday, and then Monday is Labor Day, so I don't have work. So I can easily come over for the full day, and then most likely we'll get it finished. But yeah, so sometime between now and then, Amber here is going to do the actual top stitch over this to keep it to make it so we don't need the ugly looking white stitching anymore.
Yep, we'll pull that out when we're done. It's pretty nifty.
And to the side, I'm going to remove this then so I don't stab myself again. Just 2 bad stabs. That's actually 2 bad. That's for anything. Yeah, the dangers of sewing.
Who knew, right?
Anyone who's ever sewn.
Yeah, people who haven't don't know.
All of you people who sew probably just like, yep, happens all the time.
Yep. You learn to get blood stains out pretty good, pretty well.
We don't need it, and it's facing the wrong direction to where I might stab myself.
Oh, come on, where's your sense of fun?
It disappeared 2 stabs ago.
Gotcha.
There's like 1 or 2 more stitches here, and then I gotta tug off the end. Right. And yes, I make weird sounds when I do it. So. I don't know if this sounds really actually getting picked up on this or not. It probably is. My phone is a decent enough microphone. And
I think it's normal for guys. You gotta make sound effects for everything. Come on, you've heard the conversation.
I mean,
and then we're like, and then the guy was like, boom, boom, and then so-and-so went,
I mean, watch Bob Ross tutorials, he does it all the time.
Nice, too.
And someday I'm going to follow one of those.
We should do it as a group. It'd be so cool.
You have to... The attempts to try this off.
So if you're gonna do a Bob Ross thing, are you gonna get like the afro wig and the...
No, I'm not going that far.
Oh, come on!
It's going to be a super simple, like I'll follow the tutorial itself. So the first day I'll probably use acrylic paint, not oil, just because it's really easy to work with.
I don't know. Acrylic dries so fast. You'd want to have
Oil
that
doesn't
witness.
dry at all.
But you'd want it to be malleable, be able to still spread it across the canvas.
All I know is, from what I've seen of other YouTubers doing the same thing with Bob Ross tutorials, watching Bob Ross, super calming. Trying to follow Bob Ross, stressful as all get.
We should get Justin to do it. It'd be so funny to watch. We'd have to edit out half the audio for the cussing.
Yeah, it's a family-friendly channel. And okay, that does not look pretty. That is actually kind of hideous.
Tacking it down is the deal, and I'll pull that out.
Exactly, I'll get removed, so it doesn't matter that it looks absolutely hideous. Hideous. But it's about done, so now just gonna
We can see it. It's tacked down.
Sewing scissors.
This is your first time out.
We have good sewing scissors. Don't use them for anything other than sewing stuff.
Yeah, it's a good way for other people in your house to die.
Yeah.
Never touch the sewing shears.
That, and you put the needle away, and hopefully not spill needle all over the place. It helps if I have it facing the right direction. In there. Okay. And that's that. That is the face stitching. Again, it looks terrible, but it doesn't have to look good. It's not going to stay there. Yeah, we just spin it so you can just get a good look all the way around. Yeah, as you can see, some of the stitches are like straight up vertical. There's that clothespin in the back that we're still using just to hold it in place. Because I did not stitch over there because, again, that's where the zipper's going to be, so you don't want that to be sewn closed. Keep that open so the zipper can go there and the person can actually get in and out of the dress. So yeah, there it is. So I don't think I've really shown, I mean, I may have shown, again, just the still pictures, because, again, it's not edited, so I don't know what I haven't done. There's what it looks like it's in its entirety, if I can just do that and put the yellow to show. Okay, the yellow's not showing very well. And again, the bottom part is going to get trimmed off a bit. But that's what it looks like right now. And so that's all I'm going to be able to do for today. Again, between here and the next time we do it, Amber over there is going to sew the top stitch over this so it actually looks good. And she's going to have some recorder doing it. I'm going to do some voiceover for that. And then when I get back in a few days, we'll work on getting the rest of it done. And hopefully we should be able to finish on Monday. Yeah, well, see you Monday. See you. So, yeah. So after this cut, you're going to get to see some nice actual sewing machine work, and then with my lovely voiceover, and then we'll get back after that. So see you in a minute. Okay, so we are back, and despite what I had said in the previous clip, they didn't get around to getting the top stitching done. So it is now the following Monday. It's been a couple days, And Amber is about to help with the top stitching because, yeah, I'm still an amateur when it comes to the sewing machine. A bit of an amateur when it comes to any type of sewing, honestly. So, gonna.
Oh, no, you're doing pretty good.
I mean, yeah, like all things considered.
You took on
Yeah.
the serger.
Well, they're just pretty straightforward once you get into it.
The top stitchings are all layers right over the front here.
Yep. That's part of the reason I was like a little worried about this, is that it's a lot of layers in some parts, especially where the yellow and the red meet.
Yeah, it is.
Trying to get a good angle here.
Basting makes it so much easier, so you're not. It's all smooth, and we don't have to worry about pins.
Yeah. Cut back to my getting stabbed on camera.
Yeah.
Just sort of put. Ow!
Otherwise, it'd be screaming. Looks so cool.
Again, always have band-aids close at hand. I may end up just speeding this bit up because it's, you know, pretty basic to watch. So it's just, you know, someone going through a machine. And then, a very nice trick for any of you aspiring sewers: when you get to a corner, put the needle down, lift up the foot, and then you can turn right around on the needle.
Yep, holds it right in place.
Very useful.
So if you're a beginner, this is one of those little tricks that
Yep, no tricks you can learn.
keeps you from
Yep.
From
And
getting off your mark.
though always remember to put the foot back down.
yeah.
Don't want to forget to put the foot down on the sewing machine.
One of our basting stitches is
Causing issues.
So
Yeah, sorry, that was probably on me. So, you know,
considering
nice little seam
the
ripper.
long seam that we did, it's pretty darn good. So
Yep,
get
yep,
yourself
just
up
go in with
about
the,
it.
there we go, this nice little seam ripper, which I'm going to be using a bunch of in a minute,
Yeah.
removing all the lovely, hideous basting stitching.
Hideous but effective.
Oh yeah, it doesn't need to look good. Okay, we're back. We missed a little bit. And we're starting to work on the sleeves, which, until this moment, we're still pinned to the pattern over there.
Yeah.
Apparently the pattern did have darts in the sleeves. So, and for those of you who don't know, the darts are the part where, if I can find, like, this part right here, where it's to help give it the proper shape.
Yep.
So we got some small darts in the elbows that are,
I traced a line so I can just follow it with my stitching. 'Cause
Yeah.
They can be scary,
Yep.
especially if you're not used to it.
and you guys know what you're doing right now?
Yep.
Just sewing up the darts.
Right off the end like that.
Lovely.
Ooh. See? Go see. Gotta trim everything.
Yep. Always trim, and remember, always clip your curls. Your curves. Curls. Always clip the curves.
You know that works too. Oops.
See if I can get a better angle over on this side of the machine. Right. Zoom in.
There you go.
Okay, so I shall loop it back around to this side.
And the next step, these are set in sleeves. So what we
Okay.
have to do is I put in the markings. Is we're going to put in a gathering stitch from this line all around to this, and we're going to just slightly gather it to shape it out
Mm-hmm.
to set into the armhole.
Okay, how do we go about doing that?
You put it on your widest stitch. Usually with a gathering stitch, if you're gathering a skirt or something, you do 2 rows. But for these sleeves, you do just 1. And I don't like doing it right on the 5/8. I like to go in a little bit. You don't tie it off. just pick one of the threads from one side and you pull. You just pull on a little bit and it gives you a little bit of a gather. And you want just a slight gather through here.
Just enough to round it up out a bit?
Yep, just enough to round your sleeve for you. I'm pulling it up a little more than needs be. I like to pin it into the top of the shoulder and then smooth out the little... This looks really roughly, but once I get it pinned to the top of the shoulder...
It'll look a lot smoother.
And then I smooth it just a bit from there so it just fits once we get it in. So I'm going to do this with my hands so that they can see what we're doing for the video. It'll be just barely a gather, barely, once you set it in. But it's there to help shape it. It's just to help.
Okay, so here we go. The part that we've been hyping up for, honestly, I don't even know why. Just because it sounds funny. Time to clip the curves. Just going to clip all the way along, pretty much just from the seam line.
Okay. Anything that's curved in.
Yep.
This is basic shaping. Otherwise it won't lay like it needs to.
So starting like here?
Uh-huh.
And voila, 2 curves clipped. On to the last 2. Got all the curves clipped. The clips are clipped. No. I almost said the clips are curved. That wasn't right. The curves are clipped.
I think they get it.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah, there's always that one guy in the comments.
I can talk English. I talk English good. And occasionally I speak it well.
Wow.
Okay, so I'll take the turn back. Okay, so we got that taken care of. What is our next step?
Set the sleeves in.
Put the sleeves in.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't turn this inside out because it was kind of making me confused.
So much. Again, all of the skirt. So much skirt.
All of the skirt.
So I need to find a way to like set this up in a way so we can actually like, get this. Apologies for shoddy camera work at this point. Trying to get to where it can both be in there because again, this is a multiple person job.
Are you picking it up?
Yeah, I think we should be here seeing.
There's a top.
Okay. Just sort of feed the sleeve through.
Let's see. Let me make sure I'm getting this right.
Okay.
I don't know why I'm having such a hard time with this today.
Loose threads. Loose threads all
What's
over.
wrong with me today?
Which sleeve is this? Do we know?
It's because I had to turn the right side up. What you want to do is make sure your right sides and your wrong sides match up in the right way. So I'm trying to make sure
Are things going where they're supposed to?
Because usually, one of my biggest faux pas in sewing is putting, there it is. I was putting the wrong sleeve forward. So I got those turned inside. Here's. What is wrong with me today? Why can't I get my head around this? I have not had problems like this for 10 years. I think that's the problem. Why don't we start the video?
Okay, so we'll be back in a minute while we get this figured out and put this stuff on the skirt. Okay, so back in a minute once we get this all figured out.
Sides together like this.
Okay, back after some slight turn liberties, we'll try to figure out which way things go. Sleeve number 2, initial sew. We good? Do we need to rip any seams and redo? Or is it looking good?
Looking pretty good.
Looking good.
Looking good.
Yes.
Ta-da.
Yay. Sleeve, that is both sleeves in place. Lovely.
Big for you. That's awesome. Look at this.
Yeah.
Here we go. Always a satisfying feeling.
Yep.
See,
Oh dear. I have to plug my phone in soon.
she's smaller than I am in the shoulder. I think we're about the same height. Figures better than mine. She has not had children yet. Here we go.
Okay, so well, looks good. And I think that you're going to do it for right now, because I need to cut the recording because my phone is getting close to dying. We need to plug it in.
Oh, heating up.
Yeah, it's also starting to get a little bit warm.
That's all we have to
So,
do.
so all I have to do is the zipper and the hem and then the little panel in the front.
Yep, I'll hem the bottom of the sleeves.
And yeah, and the bottom got a hem so yeah, you don't get frays all over the place.
That would be nice.
Yeah, so we'll be back whenever I get to recording. Whenever we get to the next part, and my phone has a little bit more charge. So be right back. Okay, so it has been a couple days, a little bit longer than intended because of stuff that happened in life. As I'm sure I've already mentioned, Amber went in and put in the zipper for us while during the few days we were out. So
Never hire me.
zippers,
We're not friends.
yeah, zippers aren't always the funnest things in the world. So we got the obviously seeing the sleeves after. Now we can see the full dress with the sleeves on the dress form. Looks pretty good to me. Except obviously down there, which is what we're working on today. We're going to be hemming up the skirt and then putting in the accent yellow at the neckline. Yeah, we're trying to getting that thing.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so we're going to have Amber doing the camera work again while I get this measurement for move it up. So awkwardly move the sleeve up so it's out of the way while I measure this. Yeah. Okay. So we got just about right on the tailgate.
That's where you measured her. Generally, you do that from the back, but
No, I guess. No,
a measurement's a measurement. Yeah, a measurement's a measurement, so we're just going with it. She's how far away?
Almost the entire thing.
Yeah.
Almost the entire length of this is just a 1 yard measuring tape.
Yeah, she was 34 to the ankle, right?
Here's 34 to the ankle, so we're going
Okay.
to the 35. This will length properly.
And make a chalk mark right at 35.
Right.
It's okay if you let the top fall as long as you've got that bottom measured.
And there we go.
Okay.
And a couple inches off of that.
Yeah, there'll be plenty off the yellow bit.
Where'd you put the actual?
Yep, pretty much. And then once you run out of room, you just pull the skirt around, and then slowly move the bodice around with you. But right now, you're still on the back side.
Make sure you guys go put the top one up.
Oh.
Because there's like the thick part where that seam is.
Oh yeah. I don't think the camera or the phone picked that up.
Oh,
It's funny.
it definitely won't. Oh, it's not recording.
It is.
Oh,
I am recording it.
No, I wasn't going to record because it's just, cut.
I'm just recording
turn,
a few for you.
Cut, turn.
Yeah. I think it gives a good view into what you're doing for a little bit, and then you can.
Is this going to end up in any way like trimmed or like
You know what?
less? I'm just curious.
Oh, you mean that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously on that side, but.
We could run it through the serger.
Let's just,
When we're doing it, I'll just fold it under. As long as the seam is flat. When we're doing the rolled hem.
One more thing, just like roll it under.
Yeah. Before we do the hem, we're gonna press the seam flat,
Well,
so it'll be on
naturally.
either side.
Naturally.
It's not a problem. It's not a problem at all.
I was just curious.
No. If you're doing something like denim or something super heavy, or if you've got more than 4 layers, then it gets difficult. It gets hard on the machine. You know, there's a certain amount of layers you want to avoid doing, especially with thicker fabrics. But
Okay, so if I can actually sit down and get a good view. We are now working. Well, Amber is now working on hemming the skirt, so actually looks nice on the bottom.
it's really hard to do these.
Yeah, apparently it's a rolled hem apparently, and which is apparently not easy for large curves. So, okay, so we're gonna deal with the last part with the yellow part of the neckline, with that taken care of, and then the dress shall be finished.
Yeah, I'm going
Be,
to surgeon now.
be right back in just a second. Okay, so we ended up doing a little bit of a change in plans initially. From what we initially did, we were going to pin it, but that was being finicky and weird.
Not as
With
flat.
it wasn't going to lay as flat. So instead, we decided to just take some clear tape and tape it on.
I'm pinning it further
Yeah,
out.
and then we are pinning it now, so it will stay in place
Yeah,
better while the
better.
sewing is happening.
There we go. We used a bunch of scotch tape to get it.
There's a lot of clear tape.
around.
Try to avoid name brands.
And
Not sponsored.
right.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored.
We have just some non-brand specific clear tape. Let me get over to my usual spot to record the
I'm gonna do
sewing.
this bottom part first so that there's an extra securing back and forth right where these two meet.
Yep.
So it doesn't tear on her when she moves. There's certain places, even though you think, oh, it's a little tacky, yeah, it's better to make it.
No. All I have to do is to trim all the loose threads.
Yep.
Maybe a little.
Make sure they're really
I'm super excited now.
We are officially done.
You're officially done. The dress. I mean, well, there's still a little bit we can do, like, trim the excess yellow on the inside.
Oh, that's
on the inside, we
true.
have to do that. Just a small little bit of cleanup work is left. But all the sewing is done.
All
Oh, the sewing is done.
Yep.
Just got some, like, trimming to do of some spots.
That's it.
And then it's good.
Excess
Yeah.
off.
Yeah, trim that excess off. Possibly trim a little bit excess around the hems as well. Possibly trim a little bit, not a ton, but a little bit.
I don't think you have any.
Around, like,
Not a lot of
around some of the, like, hems and seams and stuff.
I wouldn't go much farther because it would shred on you at the seam.
Fair.
The reason you leave a fair amount of seam allowance, if you don't have an overcast machine or if you don't throw a zigzag stitch on the edge of the cloth to keep it from fraying,
They'll go all over the place.
you need that extra insurance.
That's fair.
That's why they're there.
That's fair. So, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so just gotta like trim that excess yellow off, and then we're good. Okay, so here we are at the first time it is actually being worn, and I am proud of the results. My model has preferred to not have her face shown in the recording, so it's going to get blurred out. Are you okay if I use your name in the video?
My name's Meredith.
Okay, Meredith. Got Meredith as my model. And here it is. Again, the face will be blurred out, so. I think it looks really good. It is a little bit shorter than I'd intended. I realized that between when I finished it and now is meant to be ankle length. I clearly made a measurement somewhere wrong because it's like 3/4 length, but it still looks good. I'm really proud. We get a little bit of a spin. Not too much of a spin because, you know.
Cute.
Yeah, it's got all of the skirt. So much skirt, it's awesome. And I am really proud of the final results. Woo. Yeah. This makes me really happy that this is finally finished. And after recording this, now I gotta go and edit down well over an hour worth of video. Yeah, I did a lot of recording for this. With that being said, that was the end of that fun little project. So, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to like and comment down below. And if you want to know when more videos get put up, whether it's more of my reaction videos, because in case you haven't been able to tell from the fact I'm wearing the same shirt, I am recording this right after my Actually, I don't know which video is going up first, so this is being recorded right after I recorded my reaction for Ruby Volume 7, Episode 1. Which I also just realized that I forgot to do the like, comment, subscribe thing. But if you want to, if you want to know when I post more videos, press the subscribe button, which, if I can remember correctly, is down in that corner. I have to remember because it's all mirrored and everything. But with that being said, I will see you all in the next video. Bye!